Hi, this is Brian from Worldwide Stereo coming to you from our showroom in Montgomeryville, PA to talk about the new soundbar from Sonos, the Ray. It's the newest and most compact soundbar in Sonos' lineup that will bring TV and movie sound and streaming music at a price point that will match its size. In this video, we'll go over the basics and how it's built and why Sonos finally brought us a soundbar at such a great price and what they're doing to outshine the competition. This is the first of two videos that will discuss the all-new Ray. And in this video, we're going to talk a little bit about what's in the box, how it's built, and some little nerdy gems. In part two, we'll go over some of my testing notes as well as some applications for the Ray for your home. And then finally, compare it to the other surround options that Sonos offers so you know where it fits in the mix. So be sure to check them both out, but first, we'll get into the basics of the Ray. Let's get started. If you've been to this channel before, you've probably noticed my other reviews of Sonos products and know that I'm a longtime fan. If you're new here, welcome, and thanks for stopping by. A few of my more recent Sonos reviews are linked in the description below. Take a watch, and if you find these reviews helpful, please give them a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. So back to the Ray. Sonos has become a household name for high quality streaming audio and a great array of TV audio solutions. The Ray adds to Sonos' existing lineup of soundbars. At the top is the Arc, which delivers a premier Atmos surround sound for larger rooms. There's the Beam Gen 2, which offers Atmos with a smaller footprint and is great for medium to small spaces. And now there's the Ray. With the Ray, Sonos is introducing a TV audio solution at an affordable price point for someone that says, I just want to hear my TV better. And I believe it's for rooms you didn't know you needed that extra sound bump. We'll talk in more length about the comparison of all Sonos' TV audio solutions in our next video. But I did want to mention that all three of these soundbars can be paired with additional Sonos speakers for added surrounds or the Sonos Sub for additional low end. I highly recommend creating a surround setup because it's not just about more sound, but allowing each speaker to work more efficiently. The Sub helps free up the mid-range woofers to make more of the sounds they're supposed to make, and your soundbar could be even louder and more detailed. It's not just about more bass with the Sub or a bigger sound stage with the surrounds, but letting each speaker highlight their best abilities. There's been a fury of questions about what Sonos is doing selling a $279 soundbar. But this isn't their first foray into more affordable speakers that reproduce quality audio, like their One or the Roam. Half of the soundbars on the market are under $300, and what Ray has that competitors in the same price range won't have is HD quality streaming music using the built-in Sonos architecture. You can't get that with Bluetooth. It will also give you Apple AirPlay 2, Spotify Connect, and more. A Sonos soundbar at $279 will show some sacrifices in connections, but not in sound. With a front-firing speaker array, it'll also be really easy to tuck away on a shelf under your TV without interfering with how the sound travels. That right there is reason enough to bring the Ray home. So here it is. Well, the box at least. I'm going to show you how easy it is to open, and what you'll find is that Sonos recently did a major overhaul of all of their packaging to be eco-friendly. Common to all Sonos products is a clean, friendly unboxing experience. The Ray is in a hassle-free package, real quick to open up, but still feels substantial. You'll feel you've bought something of quality and it arrives safely in a well-packed box. First, there's a small icon in the corner that will indicate what color Ray you have in your hands. It also has it on the front here, all right? So the Ray is either gonna be black or white. There are two easy pull tabs with arrows showing you the direction to pull, and then a quick lift and the box is open. And then you meet Ray. You'll get everything you need for a quick setup. In the center is the Ray, and there's a small slot on the side where you'll find your accessories. Let's take a look at what comes with the Ray. A 2-meter power cable, a 1.5-meter optical cable, a handy dandy quick start guide, and don't worry, they didn't forget the legal and warranty information. Now for something that doesn't come in the box, there's an optional wall mount for $39, which is designed to complement the Ray and to make it easy to install on the wall. 2 screws will connect you to the wall, and 2 screws will connect the wall mount to the Ray. Just make sure it's level and the Ray will be ready to go. I'd use this mount with the Ray and hang it tight to the TV and use a shifting bracket to lower it to hide the wiring. It'll look very clean without having to be extremely precise. Let's look at the basic build and its design. Ray is available in black or white. White will work better at concealing the Ray if you're mounted on the wall, and black would be better for hiding it in a cubby below your TV. It has an optical input to handle Dolby Digital content, an Ethernet port to hardwire to your network. Don't worry, it still has Wi-Fi, and of course a slot for power cable and a button to sync with your system. I don't want to breeze past the optical input because Sonos designed the input so it is so much easier to plug into. You can come at it from many directions and it slips right in. It's the fastest optical connection I've ever made, and it really plays into the ease of use that Sonos was going for with the Ray. There are also controls for volume up and down, and buttons for play and pause. They're actually dual use buttons because if you hold the play pause button, it will sync to another zone that is playing music for you to easily group them. You can disable these buttons in the S2 app if you're ever worried about the little ones in your house interfering with its use and blasting the volume. There's also an LED indicator in the middle and the top that will shine white when it's ready to use. It'll be green if it's muted, which is a good indicator to let you know you turn the volume down. This can also be disabled in the app if you don't want to be distracted. The Ray is a real sleek design, and it shows that Sonos cares about how this will look in your room and not just how it sounds. Both are incredibly important. As for size, the Sonos Ray is 2.79 inches high, 22 inches wide, and 3.7 inches deep, and weighs 6.95 pounds. It's light. Comparatively, let's look at the Sonos Beam Gen 2, which I also reviewed when it was released. It's a little bigger, with the beam coming in at 2.72 inches high, 25.63 inches wide, and 3.94 inches deep, and comes in a little lighter at 6.2 pounds. So with the Ray being that much smaller, it will fit in a lot more places. You know where it fits perfectly? On the shelf beneath my TV. I have a 65-inch Sony A1E sitting on a piece of furniture, which means I can't sit a soundbar in front of it unless I want to block the screen. The TV also spreads out about the width of the cabinet, so I have no room to place speakers to the left or to the right, which means I'm stuck with TV speakers for sound. I have no space to place floor standing speakers either, and this is where the Ray comes in handy for me. It fits perfectly in the space below my TV in a little cubby. I've been missing out on bigger sound for my living room for movies and TV shows, and now I can repurpose the Play 3 that I've had sitting there for years because I have something that will stream Sonos to my living room. The Ray is a win for me, for sure. And that's the market that Sonos is reaching with the release of the Ray. They're fulfilling your need for a compact soundbar, giving you more to your TV sound, and it's an easy way to bring music to the space too. Sonos keeps making it easier and easier to set up their pieces, and the Ray is another good example of it. It took me seconds to plug into the Ray, and even after 15 years of experience, I still fumbled around with the TV optical port. It was a quick reminder of how easy things can be when designed appropriately. After I had everything plugged in and ready to go, the Sonos app knew I had the Ray installed and prompted me to add it to my existing system. It took all of about 4 minutes from start to finish. The prompts on the app walked me through everything needed to get it connected and ready to go. The hardest part for me was when it came time to learning the IR codes from my TV remote. That was my own fault. The batteries in the remote were so weak the intensity was too low for the Ray to pick up. Helpful hint, make sure your remote has fresh batteries. After the volume codes were learned and Sonos made sure my system's firmware was up to date, I was ready to go. Before getting into things, make sure to check that your TV's digital output is at its highest capability. Since I left the TV speakers engaged at the same time as my optical output, I was only getting PCM audio going to the Ray, which I could see in the S2 app. I changed it to the external speaker option, and I received the full Dolby 5.1 that I could get with an optical connection. Don't sell yourself short because you skipped a step. Once I got the Ray set up properly, it was time to put it through its paces. When testing pieces, I like to put it through any setup that it can be placed in. Since this is a Sonos soundbar, that means I'll be testing it as a soundbar with surrounds, and a streaming music speaker. I was excited about what I was going to watch to test the Ray. The first thing on the list was Obi-Wan Kenobi, which just dropped on Disney+, and I'm sure glad I didn't have to watch it with just my TV speakers. I'm in an apartment and I don't have room for a surround sound system or stereo speakers to go with my only TV in the house. The Ray was made for my situation. There's a demonstrable difference compared to my TV speakers. My Sony A1E is known for how good its speakers are. There's even a big subwoofer on the back. But the Ray came out of the box saying, I've got something better. The first thing I noticed, beyond the initial bump in volume, was there was greater detail in voices, and what got me excited was how much better the special effects were presented. I could hear the sparks of the lightsabers in battle and the whooshing sounds they made. These were barely noticeable with my TV speakers without having to crank it up. But then it was too loud for when the orchestra comes in with a soundtrack. The Ray brought balance to subtle sounds shifting to high action. Much more clarity and detail than my TV speakers. One detail that got me was a character has a reverberation to their voice, like it's mechanically enhanced. And that nuance does not exist with standard speakers, but was highlighted by the Ray. Between the TV speakers and the Ray, there's a noticeable addition of depth, spaciousness, and clarity. My girlfriend said it best, saying it sounds more cinematic. It doesn't shake the room with bass, but it was way more than what I had before. After the initial excitement phase wore off, I did remember to tune the system using the Sonos TruePlay option. If you haven't run this with your Sonos speakers, I can't endorse it more. It reads the room and focuses the speaker array to where you really need it, in your listening position. It greatly improves the balance between dialogue and background effects, so they're not stepping on each other, but working in unison. Since this is a Sonos device, I don't want to look over the musical aspect of the Ray. I have my 1, an old Play 3, and a 5 to compare it to the different Sonos speakers to find where the Ray fits with its musicality. As you can guess, it does fall right in the middle between the 1 and the 5. The Ray is more spacious than the 1, clearer high frequency reproduction, but doesn't have as much low end as the 5. And its closest comparison is with the output of the Play 3. The Ray showed more clarity in the highs, which the Play 3 lacked, and the Play 3 picked up on the low end with its passive radiator that the Ray lacked. The Ray works musically just like it does with dialogue. The vocals in the mid-range glow, but there isn't a ton of low end. I'm not surprised because it doesn't have a dedicated driver for it. This is where adding a sub would level up the experience. Currently, Sonos has one subwoofer offering, the Sub Gen 3. This is what you're going to use for all of Sonos's home theater setups, even adding 2 for some serious bass action. While I was experimenting, I found that if I grouped the Ray with my Play 3, which shared the same space, I found a rocking combination when they played together. Since they played in perfect synchronization, there was no issue with audio delay. It really felt full. That only worked with music. I tried watching TV that way, but there was a noticeable echo and it was not fun at all. It's not really a permanent solution because you would have to group the rooms every time you like to play them, but it was a fun experiment. So where does the Ray fit? A den, a playroom, a bedroom, a gym, pretty much anywhere you're looking to get the better TV sound with some streaming music on the side. It doesn't have to be about the surround sound experience as much as it can be about enhancing audio where you're missing it. I mentioned your home gym. I've done a lot of installations where we're adding Sonos to a workout area, and I think the Ray is a perfect solution for your iron paradise. Ordinarily, we would just have a Sonos 1 or a 5 in the room, depending on the size, or attach some in-ceiling speakers to an amp so you can listen to your high-intensity playlist while you're working on your conditioning or going hard on the treadmill. That works well for music, but won't help if you have a TV that you want to zone out watching. Sure, you could do it with a Sonos amp, an ARC, and some big speakers, but the costs start really adding up if you're just looking for a little boost. Here is where the Ray is an ideal solution. The Ray gives a nicely priced option to add enhanced TV audio and HD quality streaming music. Your exercise equipment in your little room is going to get a little noisy and will drown out what you're trying to hear. So bumping it up with a Ray will really help you pump it up. Now let's explore the more technical and nerdy side. I'd like to talk about some pieces the Ray doesn't have that people are already wondering about so we can set some expectations. No, it doesn't have an HDMI connection. Almost all TVs have an optical output for digital audio, which means the Ray can be added to almost every TV on the market. You may also ask, can I use Sonos's HDMI to optical converter? And the answer is no. The technology that converts the audio doesn't work in reverse for audio to be converted from HDMI to optical. It's dedicated to turn optical audio to HDMI audio. A bummer for sure, but again, almost every TV has an optical output, so you're not shortchanged. Sonos did make an improvement on the optical input, so it has a multiple directional port so it can be plugged in any direction. So it's much easier to make that connection. If they're only going to be using an optical, Sonos made sure at least it was easy. No, it doesn't have HDMI CEC control. The Ray has IR control for volume up, down, and mute. This is a standard among soundbars on the market and was seen on Sonos' original soundbar, the Playbar. You'll teach it your remote's commands through the app. Press volume up 3 times, volume down 3 times, and mute 3 times when it comes time to learn, and you're off to the races. No, it doesn't have Bluetooth. It does have the Sonos architecture for streaming music, which is capable of not just CD quality sound, but 24-bit 48 kHz HD audio from Amazon Music that was just recently released, and Qobuz, which Bluetooth can't reproduce without compression even with its best codecs. It also has Apple AirPlay 2, Spotify Connect, and of course, the optical input for your TV sound. No, it doesn't have Atmos. People will say, why doesn't the Ray do Atmos? My response would be, why should it? Atmos is an enveloping sound and you can't get that for $279. Don't sacrifice your audio experience just to say you have something. No, it doesn't have a microphone. The initial release of the Ray doesn't have one, but the future is unwritten, so it's not something I would concern myself with just yet. Then again, if they had it with a microphone, I'm sure people in the comment sections would ask, why don't they make a model without one and for cheaper? No, the Ray can't be used as a rear speaker. This was a really popular question on the internet. The Ray is designed as a 3.0 speaker array, and it is only meant to be a soundbar and not rears. The immersive soundstage that they made to spread throughout the room with the split waveguides are on a horizontal plane, which would not work well as a vertically mounted rear speaker anyway. To me, these are not deal breakers. They make me feel like they're putting more into the speaker and the quality of the sound reproduction. I don't feel shorted, and you shouldn't either. Beyond its size and look, let's look at how the Ray is constructed and its speaker array. Get it? Array, like array? Just me? The Ray utilizes a speaker array with 4 Class D digital amplifiers. Has 2 tweeters that are off center with these cool split waveguides in front of them. It has 2 elliptical mid-woofers in the center and their bass reflex system as part of their proprietary low velocity ports that helps lower distortion. It's designed for maximum sound output from a smaller soundbar. A big part of that really is using those dual micro ports with their patented anti-distortion technology. Sonos told me they're designed to take some of the Ray's elliptical mid-woofers low end and expand on it, much like they did when they designed the Play 3, which has a passive radiator. That helped produce a better bass response. The Ray uses airflow from the mid-woofers to create a low-end sound without having a dedicated woofer. It doesn't slap, but it does show that it's present. I mentioned that Sonos also put in these 2 split waveguides at the tweeter locations. These are what expands the soundstage so the high frequency sound, like vocals, spread wider and encompass the room. I mentioned earlier that all the Ray speaker elements are front facing, meaning you can tuck away the Ray in a TV cabinet without interfering with its sound quality. That's not something you can do with the Arc's height firing speakers and probably shouldn't do with the Beam based on the Atmos speaker array. Let's look at how the Ray's sound competes with standard TV speakers and their own Beam Gen 2. Sonos has given us some insight on how close the Ray is to the Beam Gen 2 when it comes to their 4 metrics: clarity, bass, volume, and spaciousness. You can see they both outperform most built-in TV speakers. With the Ray, you'll see a remarkable improvement over most TVs available today. There could be exceptions where TV speakers may be on par with the Ray, but they're not the majority. Let's get back to comparing the Ray and the Beam. The Ray's on par with the Beam Gen 2 in clarity, and it only runs a little short on bass, spaciousness, and volume. Clarity, I feel, is the most important factor that comes when choosing a soundbar. You want to hear the performer's voices clearly and not have them fighting the soundscape without you having to pump up the volume. If you do feel that there's not enough emphasis on the dialogue, don't forget there's also a voice enhancement feature to help boost it even a little more. You'll find that in the Sonos app. The Ray will not be as spacious as the Beam, as it won't fill as big a room, but it's not meant for every room. The Ray is meant to help you hear any TV better. If you want to fill the room with more, there's an option to give yourself the full surround setup. You can expand on your system and enhance your experience by adding a matching pair of speakers for the rears and a sub. It'll help fill out the room that the Ray can't do on its own, and it won't be a bad little system for a nice price. I hope you enjoyed our initial foray into the Ray. Sonos is introducing a TV sound solution at an affordable price point with Array. It's for someone that says, I just want to hear my TV better. I believe it's also for rooms you didn't know you needed that extra sound bump. I hope you like what I had to say in this first video. In the next video, I'll be going beyond the theoretical and discussing my hands-on experience, how I've tested Array, and what I think are great uses for it throughout your home. There will also be a more in-depth comparison of your TV audio options with Sonos. We'll talk in more length about the comparison of all of Sonos's TV audio solutions. I did also mention the Array can be paired with additional Sonos speakers for added surrounds or the Sonos sub for additional low end when you need that bass. I highly recommend this because it's not just about more sound, but allowing each speaker to work more efficiently. The sub frees up the mid-range woofers to make more of the sounds they're supposed to make, and your soundbar could be even louder and more detailed. It's not just about more bass with the sub or bigger soundstage with the surrounds, but letting each speaker highlight their best abilities. Thank you for joining me for our review of the Sonos Array soundbar. You can learn more about this online at worldwidestereo.com, or if you're in the area, you can stop by our showrooms in Ardmore or Montgomeryville, PA. We offer 60-day returns, free shipping on all orders, and we're authorized dealers for everything we sell. If you have any feedback or questions, leave them in the comments section below, or you can call or email us at any time. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit that notification bell to stay updated on our latest videos. This is Brian from Worldwide Stereo. I'll see you next time.